Second Kings 15. So today it seems like a lot more um like different kings that we are exposed to, and it seems like just the kings of Israel are just, I don't think they have a lot of kings that, or they had a lot of kings that did evil, but I don't recall many of them did right. And the king of Judah, like, there are some bad kings, but there are some good kings. And no wonder why God chose the tribe of Judah to be from which Jesus was came from, according to what I remember. And so it makes sense. And God, I actually just did a memory verse with my children recently about how a good tree cannot bear bad fruit, and a bad tree cannot bear good fruit, and a good tree bear good fruit. And so from the tribe of Judah, if you think of it as a branch or a tree or a vine, it has good fruit because its ancestor, there are people who love God, there are people who follow God, and it's like the cycle of sin is not as like rooted as in the the Israel, the one from the Israel. And it's interesting to me how God kind of work in the minority. God works through the remnants, and so it's really interesting to me how he re, pre, I guess he prefers working with a good few instead of a mediocre or a bad lot. And that's really wise of him when you think about it, because even in my personal work experience, I only really need 2 or 3 people that are really close, that do their job well, and that I can train them and I can kind of have confidence and delegate to them, and like build people up that way, instead of having a like 10, 20 people that I'm not sure of their confidence or competence. And so yeah, I think I see the way that God works, which is similar to how I prefer to work. And so it's really gross though that there's this one king that actually ripped open the pregnant woman's belly. I don't know what made him do that. Right here, this guy, I think, Menahem. Yeah, this guy, he ripped open all the pregnant. I don't understand what prompted him to do that. That's just grotesque. And he and the king of Israel were like just being murdered left and right, conspiracy after conspiracy, overthrow after overthrow. This person in the king of Judah, he actually was able to reign like 52 years, but then these guys are like reigning in the months. This one, this guy reigned 1 month, the previous guy reigned 6 months. So it's like a constant struggle. One other thing that stood out to me from this reading is that this person, Azariah, he was a king and he did good, right in the eyes of the Lord. But the Bible keep on saying, however, the high places were not removed. And I wonder why. I wonder if God made it clear. But either way, what happened in verse 5 is that the Lord afflicted the king with leprosy. And I thought that usually leprosy is for people who has sin. It's a picture in the Old Testament of a sin that was like outwardly showing unclean. So it's interesting that God the Bible wrote that the Lord afflicted the king with leprosy. So I don't know why that happened. But it's interesting that you can be like do right in the Lord's eye, yet be afflicted with a disease or some sort of thing that is ongoing. And so and it's until the day he died. So it's interesting that I wonder if it spread to anyone else, because usually lepers have to be in their own colony and they can't be around people. But it's interesting that this king was still king with this disease that are shamed or shunned by people of the of Jewish descent. So very, very interesting. And it said the Lord afflicted the king. I don't know if that means he caused it to happen or he allowed it to happen, but there's so many unanswered questions from the Bible. But you have to just come back to the basic that God is good and that he has a plan for us, and he knows what he's doing, and he have good plans for us, so that we can trust in his goodness and in his providence for our life, knowing that Father knows best.